And hi again. Of course, some of you have requested this video, but of course, I was planning to do this video after maybe 3 months or so. But right now, I'm doing it when I'm in the fourth week. So it's 3 weeks. I'm getting into the fourth week. So let's say it's a month. So I'm just looking at my first 3 weeks in Vietnam, um, and and it's been great. Of course, it would feel like I've just arrived today. It just feels like that. You must remember that when you make a conscious decision to say you are leaving your country, um, not that you have to forget about everything, but you need to get into a state where you say, look, I'm going for this. This is my new home. Wherever I'm going, that's my home. You remember that song that says, I'm that type of guy. Wherever I lay my head, that's my home. You remember that song, and you remember the song of Dolly Parton that says, wildflowers don't care where they grow. And that's why some of us make a decision to become foreign experts, because we believe that we are wildflowers. We don't care where we grow. What's more important is to plant ourselves in a conditions or in a garden where we'll be able to flourish. Because you look in the ground where you are growing up or where you were planted, that's your country, and you realize that there's not much that you find or that you get from your country, regardless how much you give to it. You would find that there are levels of corruption. There's for you to get a job or for you to become highly successful, you need to bribe and all of that. And some of us, you live by principles. You realize, no, I cannot be bribing a traffic officer on the road. Let him rather give me a ticket, or I cannot be bribing someone in order to get a job. All those things. It's a matter of principle. I mean, I would tell you the truth that on the 30th of April 2017, I was arrested. It was a Sunday. I was arrested for not wanting to bribe a police. Yes, they got me with some little bit of Heineken in my car, and they said, okay, fine, we can let you go, but you need to give us this amount of money. I said, no, 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 no. I don't work like that. I'm principled. You'd rather arrest me than me bribing you. I mean, I don't believe in that. I mean, you are teaching people crime. You are teaching them corruption. You are becoming involved in corruption. Why? I hate it. We hate it when the government is corrupt, but yet we become activists. I would use that. We become activists in the corruption actions. Why would we do that if we say we are good people? I mean, you remember the quote, evil triumphs when a good man does nothing. I wouldn't allow corruption to triumph just because I accept bribes and all of that. So not losing my train of thought, but those are some of the things that would say, let me leave the country, and I cannot. The crime levels in Johannesburg, Pretoria, across the country, in Mpumalanga, the killings in KZN. There are many things that you look around. The hijacking in Wheatbank. I was hijacked in Wheatbank. I'll tell you more about that in one of the videos. I'll tell you what happened as it happened. I'll give you the whole action as it happened, because I think this will help a lot of South Africans. If you'd like me to talk about that, about my hijacking and all of that, tell me. If you'd like me to speak about ex-girlfriends and all of that, if you're interested, tell me. Well, I'm not really interested in that. But whatever you want to speak about, you tell me, and we talk about that. Now, here in Vietnam, number one, let me tell you, this place is hot. If you come from a very, very kind of cooler country, where at times you'd be 18 degrees, 22 degrees, here it's always above 30. in right now it's like midnight here in Vietnam. It's always above. I didn't look now because the other computer is the one the way I can look, but it's always above 25. And during the day it's above 30, 33, 34, 35. You always have to, you have aircon or your fan there. It's hot here, so you don't need maybe when you are going to another city in Saigon or maybe in Da Nang, not in Saigon, I'm sorry, if you want to go to Hanoi, I'm told that in Hanoi you can have a jacket. I don't know about Da Nang, but here in Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, the capital city of Vietnam, you don't need a jersey here. You don't need a jersey here. So here, it's hot. You need to know that. And I'm not sure how open-minded are you or how adventurous are you. But if you are, then this is the place to be. If you are adventurous, if you are that person who really wants to be uncomfortable, if you want to be the person who wants to be able to see things and to do things that you've not done before, then this is the place to be. If you come from the US or Mexico or South Africa or the UK, and you want to come here to still live the life of the US and still live cheaper, then you will not see the life here. Because I don't know you understand me. For example, one of the things that you need to know, other than the temperature, the weather, and all of that, because it can rain anytime, but when it's raining, it's still hot here. Okay? But one of the things that you'd want to know here in Vietnam is that it's cheap here. Vietnam is the cheapest. Well, I've never been to all the countries in the world, but I believe Vietnam is the cheapest country in the world from my research. Now, here beer is more cheaper than water. Beer is equal the same price as that of cool drink, Coca-Cola, Sprite, Fanta Orange. Life is cheap here. You can have a decent meal for approximately 15 rands, which is 15 rands is 1 USD. I'm saying 15 rands, I'm South African. You can do the conversion by yourself. So, if you come here and you said, yes, I want to see really that Vietnam is cheap, and I want to see that really that is quite an adventurous place to be in, there'll be some cultural shocks. Of course, cultural shocks are for anyone. But if you want to come here to be comfortable and still, want Western food, then you're not going to see how cheap it is, because the Western food will always be priced up because it's mostly imported rather, in the country, in Vietnam. So, but if you are about to say, I want to see how cheap the life is, I want to save, not that become a cheap person, you can live a very high lifestyle here by eating what the locals here eat, the natives eat. There's nice food. I will be making videos. I'm still having a bad laptop. Still having a bad phone for now. But once I get good camera and all of that, I'll be showing you. Or if I change the battery of my laptop, I'll show you the phao. Actually, I should show you the phao very fast. The type of food. It's so nice. These noodles and beef. You can never trade it for anything. And the banh mi. And pan cow. So that's that. And you'll realize that when it comes to, of course, if you want to understand the issues of transport, the issues of transport will be around bikes, motorbikes rather. Other than that, of course, you can get a Grab. A Grab is like Uber or Taxify in South Africa. Uber General is known across the world. It's called Grab. The Grab is either a scooter, a motorbike, or a car. And there's Gojek, so you can shop online, you can buy anything online. You can even buy underwears online. And they can get delivered to you. Of course, you can do that as also in South Africa, but in South Africa you are limited. Not every shop would do that, and at times Take a Lot, the biggest online store in South Africa, distributor, not store, distributor, would hike up the price because it takes that from it takes these things, whatever you're buying from the shop, and then they put a hike up price, and then when it gets to you, of course you pay the hike up price, and you also pay for the transport. So it's not like that here. It's cheap here. I don't know how to explain it. And I'm not sure you wanna ask about the boyfriends. Of course, Vietnamese or the girlfriends. I mean, they love their people. That's the first thing. Unless you are white, I think, because it seems like the younger ones, when you look at the youth, they speak to you as a black person because they want to speak English and all of that. But it seems like they've been told that if you had to date any foreigner, it has to be white. Not because but you can see the situation at hand here, and you can't say Vietnam. You can't say they are racist. You can't. No, you can't. Of course, other than that few people who are mostly the older generation, I've seen those a little bit. But the younger generations, they are more curious. They are more curious, especially if you have the color of my skin. If you are black, they stare at you here. They look at you. They stay. The staring is too much, just because of the color of your skin. Sometimes they would call each other to say, "Come, look at the black person." You can see them pointing each other to say, "Here is a black person," and they smile. And they, at times, when you look and they act as if they are not looking at you, but they are, just because you're black. So I'm not sure if it's an issue of curiosity or what, but surprisingly, they've got CNBC. What is that channel? I'm not sure what is it. And Al Jazeera. They can watch these people on TV. So I'm not surprised why, when now they see you, they get surprised. And I'm not the only black person here, but every time they see black people, they stare at you. And it doesn't stop, even if they can see you 3 times a week. And I don't want to speak about what happened when I went to cut to trim my hair for the first time. You can see I'm even afraid to go back again. I'll do a video where I am going to a barber shop, because people come and watch you. People come and watch you when you cut your hair. Like, what the fuck, dude? Why would you do that? So there's a lot that's happening here in Vietnam, and that is why it's not for the faint-hearted. If you are going to be worried because people are staring at you, if you are going to be worried that because you're going to the barber and everyone comes see you, if you are worried about that, perhaps you are not having their local bank card and you are using your country's bank card, and they just look at it so long, because it surprises them, I don't know. And if you don't like when people call each other to point at you to say, yeah, he's a person, or because you might not be black, you might be white, you might be coming from another country, but if you are a foreigner, there is that element that they look at you. But if you are black, and of course, when you are in quarantine, whether for 7 days, I was there for 7 days in the mandatory quarantine, mandatory rather, not compulsory. Compulsory is when you have to do something, to do it in order to achieve something. Mandatory is not about achieving at all, it's just doing it regardless. It's mandatory. So the quarantine, of course, you have 3 meals per day. You are just sitting there. If you have nothing to read, you are in trouble. You're just sitting there. You can open the TV, watch the TV, sleep, eat. They bring food 3 times a day. So if you came in as a tourist, it means you have to need something to read, and then watch TV, watch TV. But it's better when you come maybe as an expert or a teacher or whatever, where you would, well, the first 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, you can do that. But after 4 days or so, your company will start inducting you online while you are, still at the mandatory quarantine hotel. And you will see I'll be putting up pictures of the type of food, that you get when you are in quarantine here in Vietnam. And it's quite interesting. You'll see. I think I did put up a video which was not good about the type of food that you get here. Other interesting, hence I said, if you are open-minded about food, you will like it, and but you will get the video and rather the pictures of the type of food that you get, a meal that they would bring in and you would eat, and the small bananas. That was quite interesting about quarantine. There were these small bananas that I was seeing them for the first time, baby bananas. So those are my. That's that about Vietnam. One other thing that you need to understand is that there are interesting things, like when you would go to the shop, the Co-op Mart, the way they pack, they put your things in departments. It's so nice, and one of the non-cheap things is mostly the your pots, utensils, all those things. But when it comes to food and transport and accommodation, like if you come here as a tourist, life is wonderful here. So with some of us, we didn't come here as tourists, we came as experts. And we'll explain later, of course, the other process of how did I get all the documents. I know in one of the videos I explained, but not really the whole process, because there must be a video just about the documents when you are coming here. And I will explain when you are coming here as an expert, and I'll find out more about when you are coming as a tourist. And also, I think if you are coming, there are other things I want to mention, that if you come here, as an expert, perhaps if you are black, you must not be worried about whether you find a boyfriend, a girlfriend. There are black people around if you want them, that you may meet if they are interested. It also depends. Perhaps they can just say, what's this asshole doing? I've got a husband at home or a wife at home, And if you're not interested, that's good, because you might have someone at home. But if you want to try your luck with the Vietnamese, or rather the Filipinas, because there are few Filipinas that you can look at, but of course Filipinas like white guys. And they love foreigners generally, but you have to be a white foreigner. Because that's how people have been painted. That's how the media has made them. They think that white skin is much more better than black. They don't regard you as a human. So when you're black, you're black. When you're white, you're white. The Filipinas and people from other countries. And that's the dirty part of the media. But here in Vietnam, most people are curious. And also, the sleeping patterns have been tough in the beginning. Well, because most of the time you are watching the elections in South Africa on what's happening, and you are also I'm also talking to the soccer team, my girls. I've got a soccer team that I left in South Africa, and the sleeping patterns, get tough. But once you get used to it, if you want to get the sleeping patterns very much fast, you can do that. But if you're like me, still always wanting to talk to people in South Africa and all of that, then it's another issue. And there are nice places, there are bad places. I don't like my place at the moment, but I'm going to be moving very soon once I'm okay, because traveling from one area to another is costly. Emigrating is costly. And that is that. But you don't need a jersey. You don't need a jacket when you come to Ho Chi Minh City. Like, come with your t-shirt. Because even people here, there's some don't wear shirts or t-shirts at all. And you will love the variety of food if you are adventurous, of course. And that's that so far. What I've seen here in Vietnam. In the issue of the, for now, because it's they've just the lockdown is just finished. The hard lockdown is just finished, but you really need to have your COVID certificate everywhere, wherever you go. As a foreigner, mostly, well, even the Vietnamese people, you need to go with your COVID certificates, because some shops would not allow you without entering with without your COVID certificate. But as a foreigner, of course, just to be safe, have your COVID certificate and your passport that has a visa, of course. So that's one other thing that you need to know. You can have it as a picture in your phone, or if you want to carry some stack of paper in your pockets, you can do that. That's that. That's that. There's nothing much. Yeah, in terms of if you come from South Africa, of course you will meet friends. If you want to, of course. And there are in terms of other restaurants, such as the Mexican restaurant, the Irish bar. Of course, they say there's someone who's selling Puravors here. You can do that. I'm not interested in that. You can do that if you want to, at South African prices and all of that. You can do that. And the development here in terms of the infrastructure, the facilities here, they are awesome. You can see that Vietnam is a highly fast developing country. There's construction everywhere, and the country is beautiful. So Vietnam will be one of the super houses of Asia very soon. And yeah, and we'll check each other next time, and with more videos, of course. Take care of yourself.